Hello, everyone. Oh, my lovely people. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I just completed a live, premiere. But because people said to me that 8 minutes premiere will not be enough for what happened, that we need to do a live stream immediately after. As those of you who are familiar with my channel knows, oh, look at thank you for coming, because we're still going to do our live stream on Sunday. We're still going to do our live stream on Sunday, our Sunday praise, and there's a health problem I want us to discuss on Sunday. So we're still going to do that maybe for an hour. And today we're going to also spend maybe an hour to delve into what is on the ground so that we all can learn and then pass on to others, because it's quite serious. I don't know why people back home don't take things serious. This is very serious matter. That's why after the 8 minutes premiere, it was suggested to me that the best thing is to follow it up with a live stream so that we can explore more, so that people can also talk. And so that's basically why this emergency live stream came about. I don't normally do live stream on Fridays. We're still going to do our normal Sunday worship live stream on Sunday by 3 p.m. But this one is a quick one. Hopefully in an hour's time we are done. But I'll definitely want to get more people in the house, and I'll give a bit of a preamble about what's going on, and then we can talk. We can talk around it and then learn from it. And especially those of you with young children, we need to talk about these things, and so that people can learn from it, because I can't believe how ignorant people can be. I hope you can all see me, yeah? Sorry, not see me. I hope you can all hear me, because sometimes I leave it on mute and I'll be talking to myself. You can all hear me, yeah? Okay, I see you and hear me as well, yeah? Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who were at the premiere. Maureen, thank you so much. You're already waiting at that premiere before I even joined. Thank you. I appreciate that. And others who are here, I can't remember who else is here that was at the premiere. But what was discussed at the premiere was just like a guide to what is going on. And now I want us to delve more into it. And I'll just wait for another maybe 5 more minutes or 10 or so, and then we can go into this case that brought us here today. We'll go into it, and then the other example I gave in my video regarding siblings sleeping together. At what age do you stop your children sharing rooms, especially if they are opposite sex? At what age do we think is no longer okay? No matter how much you trust them, obviously we all want to believe that we trust our children, but no matter how much you trust them, at what age do we think that it's no longer okay for them to be in the same room? But before we go to that particular one, I want us to talk about what prompted me to do that video that some of you just watched. We're going to do that first, and then go into this aspect of siblings sleeping together, and at what age. I know that sometimes, obviously, we don't have enough rooms. Interesting topic. Oh, thank you, Maureen. Yes, something serious really happened, and that's what led me to, I said to myself, this is not the one we just do 5 minutes video, 8 minutes video, which some people will not even watch up to 2 minutes of it. I don't know why. You do an 8 minutes video and you look at your duration of watching, and it's only 2.5 minutes, and you've sat there and you've really researched on things, and you really think that you are bringing something that will benefit people. But when you look at your view duration, it says 2.5 minutes. 8 minutes video is not that long. If you really want to support people, I watch people's 22 minutes video, 25. I watch them fully with the, even if I'm not interested in what they're saying, I'll just leave it to run, you know, because of that support. But I'll upload the 8 minutes video that I think has some value, and people, you'll be seeing 2.5 minutes view time. You know, it doesn't give joy. It's not good. It's not good. Hello, yo. Hello, Juba. Juba, you're welcome to the house. Thank you so much for coming, Juba. Thank you. This live stream is an impromptu one. We're not going to waste time. We're going to go straight to the points, and then I'll do a preamble, and then I'll drop the link, because I would like it to be interactive. But let me do a preamble. Let me just give us for those who did not watch that video. I know that yesterday, Entertainment Daily was asking of the details. Obviously, she did not watch that video, and I'm sure some of you here may not have watched that video. And just to say, I'm not going to mention the name of the YouTuber. I'm not going to mention the name of the person that uploaded that video, just because I don't like that kind of thing. It's not as if I'm calling her out or that I'm blaming her. No, that's why I don't want to mention her name. Obviously, some of you, Oyoyo Fresh, knows who it is. I'm sure, I don't know how many of you who have watched her video or who knows this girl. It's a young widow with 3 children, a YouTuber. And that's all I can say. If you know her, you know her. If you don't know her, I'm not going to say her name. I don't think it's fair for me to mention her name, because mentioning her name is like I'm telling her off. You know, I was a little bit unhappy in my video, as you can see my tone there, but it was just the way I feel at the time. But now I want it to be a calm discussion where we just say it as it is. You know, so this lady that uploaded the video, just to give you in a nutshell, she's very young. I mean, looking at her, I don't even think she's up to 30 years. And if she's 30, maybe she's in her very early 30s, if she's up to that. So that's how young she is. And she's got 3 children. The first ones are twins, a boy and a girl. And they are 5 years. And she's got a baby. That baby may be 2 years, maybe. And unfortunately, a year or a couple of years ago, she lost her husband. They used to live in where is that place that Mary Queen Longman lives? Where is the place that Mary Queen Longman lives? That's where she used to live with her husband. I can't remember. Senegal. That's how, when I started watching her, she lived in Senegal with her husband. But we don't know what happened. Her young husband passed away and left her with 3 children. So, because obviously she cannot continue staying there on her own, she has to go back to Nigeria. And the things have been so difficult for them. I remember sometime Choice TV, money was raised for her. Quite a huge amount of money was raised for her at that time to support her, because we know what it means. People who have their husband still struggle, never mind somebody without her husband and 3 young children. So I feel for her, totally feel for her. However, what she did this time, it wasn't smart at all. It wasn't smart wasn't good enough. And it's not a case of this live stream. It's not a case of shaming her or telling her off. It's a case of her, if she's going to come across this live stream or somebody will share it with her, for her to see what we have said and I've dropped a comment in that video. When I watched the video, I dropped a comment. I told her what I thought she should have done, and it's up to her. But when it comes to children, it's no longer up to us. It's no longer up to her. It becomes a big deal. It becomes something that we have to take seriously, or it will happen again and happen in a big way and in a very sad way. So we can't just say, oh, let her do what she likes. It's her child. That's why I don't normally put my mouth in certain things, but this particular one, I said, no, I have to. So let me just give you an idea. For those of you who have not watched the video, as I said, the girl, the YouTuber, I'll call her a girl. She's a mother of 3 children, but to me, she's a girl. So she is, she's got 3 children, and as I said, twins, a boy and a girl who are 5, and her baby, who is about 2 or so. She said that she she's needed to work because she needed to make some money, so she needed to work. So what did she do? She has to, there's a this family that maybe live upstairs or live, I don't know, I think they live the same place, but they live upstairs or something like that, the way she described it. Hello host, thumbs up done. Oh, thank you so much, Working Purpose Monica Miles, thank you for coming. We are talking about a video that was uploaded by a YouTuber regarding her child. So I'm trying to give an insight into that video, and then I'll drop the link for other comments. I just premiered a video now, and in that premiere, I talked about this lady, and I talked about something else, which we are also going to discuss on this live stream. So she now gave her, she leaves her two children, the twins. Maybe she goes to her work or to wherever she goes to, she goes with her baby. She didn't really say that, but she said that she leaves her children with this family. Ella, I see you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. So as I said, I don't want to mention her YouTube name or her name, but I don't want it to look like I'm dragging her or anything like that. I just want us to learn. It's just lesson to learn, and for her also, for her to learn as well. So I hope she will come across this video. This is a big deal for me. After watching her video, I became very upset the way she took it. And after becoming upset, I said to myself, maybe she doesn't know, is ignorant. And especially people in Nigeria, I have to say Nigeria because that's where I come from. The way you handle things sometimes baffles me. The way they handle things back home makes me just want to cringe. So the way she came out, I was wondering, what did you actually come out to do? Did you come out to give us this story? I think she's at the end, she said, I'm happy I've come now to share it or get it off my chest or something like that. No, that's not good enough, my girl. That's not good enough. AA, I've already welcomed you. Thank you so much, AA, for being here. I didn't know you noticed that I have live stream because I know it's always Sundays we do live stream. Well, this one is an emergency one, so we're not going to take time. Coach Merima, you're very welcome. Gores Corner, thank you for coming. Ella, I've already welcomed you. So what I just given a sort of an insight into this thing before I drop the link. So I'm not going to greet anybody else. Can you, who can I ask to help me to greet people? If anybody comes in, Linda, please, my dear, if anybody comes in when I'm talking, just greet them for me. Let me give this insight. If not, we'll be here forever. So Linda, my dear, if anybody comes in, greet them on my behalf, okay? Or Ella, if you can do that for me. She haven't taken action just to come here on YouTube to share it was very unnecessary. I'm coming to that. Okay, so just for those, because some people here don't know what we're talking about, but you don't need to know the name of the person. All you need to know is what happened, yeah? So that's what I'm going to tell you. So she now said that this family, that their father, she never, what also worried me was that she did not mention the mother of those children. She said that their father was unwell and had stroke or something, but he later on went to hospital. Now, when he now went to hospital, who is at home with those children? Because she never mentioned the mother, unless, Ella, I'm sure you watched that video, unless I missed something. Did you hear her talk about the mother of those children she left? Yeah, she, I don't think she has a moderator. Can I, let me see. Hey. Let me see. You know me and trying to. Oh God. You know me trying to give people make people mod. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I don't have moderator. All of you, everyone here is a moderator. Everyone become moderator. Just welcome people for me. Let me just go on so we don't get interrupted. Yeah, Trending Gist is already here before. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, she came in with her other channel. Thank you so much for supporting with your two channels. And yeah, so I don't lose my chain of thought. Let's just get on with it. She never, as far as I know, she did not mention the mother of those family that she left her children with. Yeah, she said that the father had stroke and later went into hospital. If I'm wrong, correct me, Ella, because I'm sure you're a reactor. I'm sure you have watched that video very well. And then she said that those children, that they had their older one, you can't give moderator because you are using. We are using StreamYard. Ezioku. Okay, Ngwano. Everybody become moderator. Everyone just run to social media to talk about things without reassessing. Exactly. What are you coming to social media to tell us? What is this about? That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you what it's about. What it's about is a YouTuber who uploaded a video. She's a widow. She's quite young. That's why I call her a girl, because looking at her, I don't think she's up to 30 years. If she is, she'll be very early 30s. And she's got 3 children, twin boy and girl, who are 5, and their younger one, who is 2 or so. And she's a widow. Her husband passed away. They lived in Senegal, but husband passed away. They have to relocate to Nigeria. So she uploaded a video a couple of days ago or so, and she was saying, the title of that video is that my child was molested or something like that. My child was molested. I'm like, what? You know me and their children, anything to do with children, I was running there to know. Molested who, by who, and what happened? What's the offense? Anyway, and when I went there, after listening to her, I became very upset. I'm not angry, but I was upset, because she said that this family, whoever is coming in now, I see you all, but I can't greet now. Let me just tell you what happened so we can talk about this quickly and learn lessons from it. So that those children, that they have a older sibling who is about 24, and that the other 3 were 12, 14, and 15. I got those bits, 12, 14, and 15, and that they like watching movies. What movies do they like watching? She did not say. That those children that she left her children with, love watching movies. Remember, the name of the mother of that house where she left her children, there was not mention of their mom. Yeah. And then she said, my kids love staying there. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but you don't need to be one to know to put 1 and 1 together. My kids love, I had to jot something down from her video. I have to jot something down so I don't quote her wrong. She said, my kids love staying there. I'm like, really? Your kids love staying there? What does that mean? And it's not as if, now, my people, get where I'm going to. Her kids love staying there, but they are 5 years. And she said that those children are 12, 14, and 15. I don't know whether they're all boys, but obviously there's a boy here who molested this girl. So I don't know that she didn't say 12, 14, and 15. Are they boys and girls, or are they all boys? But that word, my kids love staying there, hit me. I'm like, okay, fine. Then she now said that because she's struggling, she has to work. I was trying to look for a small girl to look after them. You don't, my dear, you don't need a small girl to look after them. You need an adult to look after them. So that's one. And then she now said that her daughter, her 5-year-old daughter, is spoken, and when she was doing whatever, her daughter now said to her that there's something she wants to tell her. And then she started telling her that when they went to this person's last night or the night before, whatever, that one of the children, now remember, 12, 14, or 15, we don't know which one. She did not say which one, but whichever one it is, it's not important at the moment. So her daughter now told her that one of them climbed on her. That was the word used. Climbed on her, or lay on her tummy, and lay on her tummy. Yes, something like that. Yes, lay on her tummy. Then another thing that baffled me was the fact that she said that the accused was there and was saying to the girl to shut up, not to say anything, to shut up, not to say anything. That gave it out immediately. That means that he wasn't just laying on her, he must have done something more. Yes, my lovely people, I needed to say this because the way this girl came on social media to just say this casually, I'm happy now, I've let it out. And then she just stopped the video. I was waiting to hear, what action did you take? What actually happened? Now, I'm raising my voice because I'm not happy. It's not just her. A lot of nonsense is going on back home and people are not taking responsibility. Let me continue. So that boy, whichever one, as I said, she didn't say, is it the 12-year-old, 14, or 15? whatever one it is, they're all babies, they're all young people, climbed on a 5-year-old. Then she said that the boy kept saying to shut up when she was asking her daughter to narrate the story, that the boy was saying shut up. That's actually gave it out that something more happened. Yeah, I wrote the things down so I don't quote her wrong. Then she now said that yeah, what her daughter, 5-year-old, said that she told her to take off her clothes and lay on her tummy. Yes, that whoever these children, the people are, asked her to take off her clothes and lay on her tummy. Then another thing that baffled me was the question the mother asked the daughter. The mother said that she now asked her daughter. Remember, this girl is a baby of 5. She asked the daughter, "Did the boy finger you?" Come on, 5-year-old. What does she know? What do you mean by finger you? Did the boy finger you? But she said no, and she just told me to touch him. Touch him where? What do you mean by asking a 5-year-old, did the boy finger you? There are ways to ask questions. There are questions to ask, and this should not have come on social media if you have not taken the right action. I'm sorry, baby girl, I have to be like this because you let me down. It's with all sympathy. You're a young widow. With all due respect, my dear, even some people with their husband and wife together can still go into this kind of mess, because I've heard things. But I'm very sorry that you lost your husband at a very young age. And at this point, I want to stop and pray that nobody, each and every one of us, even those of us with adult children, that none of our children who are now having children will lose their lives or their partners, or their husband or their wife. That everyone here present on this live stream today, and those who are going to rewatch this live stream, or those who are going to come later, who are married or who have children who are married, that none of us will lose our spouses, especially at young age, when our children are so young that they can't even look after themselves. I'm just pausing now to pray for everyone that this will not be anybody's portion, that husband and wife will be alive and raise up their children, so that when one person is not there, the other person will be there and look after these vulnerable children who did not ask us to bring them into the world. But unfortunately, this happened to this lady. So that's my prayer. Let's continue. Then I asked the boy. Then the mother of this 5-year-old said, I asked the boy, and the boy said yes. That means that the boy confirmed what the young girl was saying. So I was now listening to her. Since the boy said yes, what action did you take? That's when you should have raised alarm. As I said, I did not hear her talk about this children's mother. Where is their mom? She said that their father. Stroke. Tell yourself with their own mother. Nothing. She said, the boy said yes. Hey. So that's admittance. He's already admitted that what the girl was saying is true. He never even tried to deny it. So he was bold enough to say yes. And then the next thing that she said made me more angry. Do you know what this YouTuber, this young mother said? I cautioned him as a police officer, as a police officer, as a social service person, as a lawyer in the court. I cautioned him, meaning what? And told him that if he does it again, I'll put pepper in his private. That's what the mother of this 5-year-old told the boy in question. If he does it again, I'll put pepper. Oh, so you're waiting for it to happen again? Kai! Mothers, parents, let us be sensible. I'm upset. 5-year-old baby, you cautioned him. As what now? And told him that if he does it again, you put pepper in his private part. What do you mean? The most horrible thing I've ever heard. So this is the story in a nutshell, my people. People that I missed when you came in, I'm very sorry. I see you, Sidonie Johnson and family. Oh my God, I don't think I've met you before. Please connect with me if you're a YouTuber. So I want to know you more. I want to know you, but I think I've greeted everybody. Who else came in when I was talking or when I was praying? Please pardon me. If you came in at that time, I think I saw Evelyn Omoria. I think I saw her come in. So this is the nutshell, in a nutshell, the story. The other one, I want us to finish this one before I go to the other one regarding siblings sleeping together in one room, a boy and a girl. At what age do you think that siblings should stop sharing room? We are going to come to that, but let's finish with this one. Let me drop my link. Let me stop talking because I'm very upset. Yes, evening. Good evening, my dear. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I've dropped my link because I'm now short of words. I don't want to break down. People think this is, in fact, I want people mainly in Nigeria, you know, where we are in diaspora, here in the UK, America, Europe, we know what's up. We know that this kind of nonsense will not be left lying down. But back home, maybe that family has been maybe supporting in one way or the other, helping her. She doesn't want to take it on or do anything. Stop helping me. Stop supporting me. Let me and those my 3 children be there. If we perish, we perish. God will send helpers. If she come out here and cry, I'll be one of the people to help her. Yes. So that, please, somebody come to the link if you have something to say. Yes, very bold. He asked the boy said yes. Then you cautioned her as a lawyer, as police woman, as a judge in the court law. I'm sorry for the girl anyway. For that young mom, I'm very sorry for her. I'm not blaming her. Her case is just like, her situation is just a case study for us. I'm not blaming her. In fact, I feel sorry for her. There's somebody here. Let me welcome you in. Yeah, you're very welcome. I don't know which one to call you anymore. I don't know which one to call
anyone at all. Good evening, Mama.
Too many names. I don't know which one to choose. So yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome to this, because I think I just needed somebody. I hope you're still there when you're free. I just want 1 or 2 people to just come and say what they think, because we are today, as I said before, that's why I didn't want to mention her name. Today is not a blame, it's not a blame culture, it's not telling her off. But some of the things she said obviously upset me. That's why I spoke the way I was speaking, and that's why I was upset. But it's not a time for us to blame her, please. It's not a time for us to say, oh, she's silly, she's this and that. Remember, she's a young widow. None of us, including me, I've been married for 40 years. I don't know what widowhood means. Never mind a girl. I think she's younger than my youngest son, that girl. So with all sympathy. But we need to say this so that she can learn and others can learn. You need to speak out in Nigeria. We need to speak up. Because if not, this will be damaging our children. And our children will be mentally damaged before we know it. That's why we're talking about this evening. And we're not mentioning her name. I've not used her on my thumbnail in case people who don't know her and who have not watched the video. I don't think you need to watch the video anymore, because I've just tabled out what I listened and I jotted them down. So I made sure that I covered aspects that we need to understand. Thank you so much, Mel Fierce Fitness. That's what I know you as. The other ones I can't remember. You're very welcome, my dear.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. I see you're getting emotional, and I totally understand because I saw somebody reacting to the video. That was what got my attention. So I now had to go watch her video, and I just looked at it and I was like, okay. So when you were talking about it yesterday on Oyoyo's World Stream, I was like, maybe something else happened. I didn't know that you saw this lady's video also. First of all, coming out to talk about this thing, knowing fully well that you've not done anything about it, it's a no-no. She shouldn't have. She shouldn't have. But then we also have to understand that probably because we're looking at it as people that are staying in diaspora now and we're more vocal, we're more all of that. But if we look back to when we were still in, Mama, you've left Africa for long now, so maybe you don't even remember much, you know.
I've lived here more than I've lived in Nigeria. That's why maybe some
exactly. So you might not remember much. So let me come from that perspective because a lot of people will do what she has done, and I would say things like this happen on a daily in Nigeria because that's where we're from. So that's where the country we're going to mention. Things like this happen in a daily, and if you hear the percentage of people that are being, RAPE, molestation, and the rest of them that you can think of, you will be baffled. Like you're going to be shocked. But because and every time this thing brings me back to our culture and tradition. I was watching a reactor yesterday. She said something on her video and I commented on her video and I said, respect, na go kill us for Nigeria, for Africa or Nigeria, something like that. I said it. Too much respect, na go kill us.
Yeah. I agree.
You will see where family members will do something like this. Yes, you will see where family members will do something like this, and the person will come out and talk about it. They'll say, that your uncle cannot do this. That your auntie cannot do this. But the child is telling you it happened. But because you have trusted your brother more than your child, you will not listen to your child. And in the case of this lady, coming back to her, remember she said she had to go to work and she needs someone to take care of the children. If she would take this case further, everybody will start, everybody, I'm talking about their neighbors, people around and all that, will start calling her a bad woman. Because they were helping her. You know this emotional blackmail that our people do. And recently somebody had tweeted something like that African parents should stop blackmailing their children. Yes, Martin, if you don't do this, I will die. If you don't do, our parents will tell you those kind of things. Even the type of courses to go study in university, they want to choose that for and everything. So if she would react differently, they will blame her because the first thing people say, no, you carry your pikin go there. When you carry your pikin go there, you don't know say boys did that house too. You understand? And then they will not turn around and say, okay, they've helped you. If you had paid somebody to take care of your child, you would have been, you would have spent a lot of money that you don't even have. And now something happened instead of you to forgive. And even if she will go to call the police, the family members will now start begging her. They will now beg her. Before you know, they will go to police station and call off the case and come and settle it with family members, just so the boy escaped this whole thing. And let's remember, this woman her husband is no longer alive. Maybe if he was, the boy wouldn't have even died because the man would have beaten him up. Not like she was just saying, I will put pepper in your. It's not about putting pepper in your, because for the child to even imagine how many children will even say something like that right in front of the boy.
Exactly.
So there's possibility that there was penetration, there was finger, and everything else that she was asking the child. But just like you said, the child will not understand those. She doesn't know. How would you know something like that? Even some people that are grown, that has never done, anything sexual, you tell them they don't know. They look at you like, what are you talking about? Yeah. So you cannot expect a 5-year-old to tell you something like that. So as she's telling you, he said, take off your clothes, lay on your back. He laid on. That should tell you that he wanted to do something, or he probably did it. Did she even check the child?
That's the thing. She never said that. We're waiting to hear more. She never said that. I took my child to so and so. They checked her out, and they said that everything is still intact. There's nothing happened. I wanted her to say that. It wasn't said.
And another thing is, even if it happened, she will not come out and really say that part, knowing fully well that she's not planning to take any action, because she might be blaming herself also that I'm the one that took my child or my children there and this happened. So there's nothing I can do. If maybe it had happened in her home, he came visiting, that would have been a different case. So this whole thing, there's just so many levels. And another thing is, these are not things that they really teach in our schools, or we have like programs where you go to and they educate people about these things. They really don't talk about this. Some people don't even know what to look for. Some people don't even know when things like this happen, they should go to the hospital, except those ones that were brutally, then. And imagine, even if you remember the case of the one that happened in Lagos, the famous one. Some people are still fighting for that guy, saying he didn't do it, that he's not guilty, that lady is wicked, they set him up and all of that. The shame and everything makes some people to just keep quiet and not talk about it at all.
Yeah. You're very correct. I'm looking at it from the mind of being abroad and this thing, but things needs to change now. This is just not right. This is just not right. And just for her coming out to share it without telling us what she did was what actually was even wrong, as well as what happened. Education is a key to children at a very young age. Certain places in the baby, but they are private. Yes, things like that. I don't know. So they don't teach them these things in school in Nigeria. They don't mention. I remember, as far back as when I was in secondary school in Nigeria, I remember vividly, we are doing a biology lesson, and we asked, one person asked our biology teacher, a male, something. I think we didn't know, and he didn't know. I remember that instant. It's a biology teacher. This was in secondary school. He said, "Oh, please, sir, what is spermatozoa?" He said, "Neri," meaning your mother, or just a causing this child. It's a biology class. I'm not talking about primary, secondary school. The biology teacher just shut the girl down. You're asking what is spermatozoa. We didn't know. So I see what you mean. Or somebody else is in up here. Yeah, I see what Gores, welcome. I see what you mean, but I thought that was then. I mean, I'm talking about when I went to secondary school, was late 70s and early 80s and mid 80s. So that I think things would have changed. No, I didn't go to school. I went to school mid 70s and finished late 70s. Yes. So if you can see how old this person sitting here is, at that mid 70s and early 80s, most of you are not born. So, but what I'm saying, yes, secondary school life was in the 70s, yeah, and so I don't know why this 2023 things will not have moved on from in Nigeria. That's sad. That's very sad. But continue, because Gores is here. I want to hear from Gores as well. Have you finished, Mel?
Yeah. Let him take over.
Okay, Gores, you're very welcome. You're very welcome to the hub. Please, what do you have to say? You heard me recount it. If you didn't watch the video, you've heard what we said about this case. So, what do you have to say, my dear?
Yes, good evening, Ma.
Thank you, my dear.
Good evening, everyone. And thanks for letting me in. I didn't get the whole story from the beginning, and I didn't watch it, but I heard from the 5 years old that the mom was asking if someone penetrate or finger. So I feel it's very wrong for her to actually be asking that question. I also feel that even the word fingering, if that girl could register that in her head and go and ask someone else, you understand? And before you know it, in the process of trying to teach this girl what that fingering is, she will be used as a practical. So she might not even come back to tell her mom if someone else has tried it with her. And I think, of course, this issue of safeguarding in Nigeria, where we come from, needs to be really
safeguarding. It's very
tightened up.
Yes.
They really need to put things up.
Yeah.
Even because, as you said, here we know our limits. We get back to these children. When issue happens, they turn them to their own children. So Sorry, yes. Let me just yeah. So they will turn them to their to their children. We know our limit, that even as they are our children, we have limit to what we can do to them, how we can say we are correcting them. We can't use rod or whatever. And so I think the Nigerian needs to, would I say Nigerian authority, and they need to put something together, that parents needs to know that this is their limit, this is what needs to be done. And I think also the people they live with, the society, there are things that they will hear, and they will also put the authority. For example, here, if they hear a child screaming anyhow somehow, before we know it, we hear the doorbell, and it's the police that when you open the door, it's the police. They will say someone called them. You'll be wondering who called. The bottom line is they heard somebody was screaming. So these are the things that sometimes we say, oh, why Nigeria trying to copy Bodo Yibo? Is sometimes it will help that if it will help them to put things in place. The same way we complain that, oh, maybe the way they drive in Nigeria and here is because the law here, we have what we're going to face if you flaunt it. So the same way, if it's applied, if they put Nigerian law here, this place too would not look like Nigeria. So I think they need to hold the important things and put them in place, especially when it comes to children, because here they really flag it. It's really serious safeguarding. So those are my thing. And I think like this, the lady said, enter daily. Okay. She said the issue of respect. Yes. I wanted to address that as well. Issue of respect. In aspect of some of the respect are hypocrisy respect. I'm sorry to say, they know that thing is wrong, but because that person is their maybe family or is an old person, I think they should be able to be firm with their decision that this is not right. Or if they don't want to disrespect them in their presence, you could still walk away and do whatever you need to do. If you need to report to the police or take issue up. But I know the woman that had this issue. Maybe she's ignorant, because I don't know. But from since she's done the video, I expect that by now she should be facing the law. Maybe there's police, so she could have some questions to answer, and to teach others a lesson, that you don't just come, because it seems everyone, if they sneeze, they want to go on social media, they want to start complaining, go on social media and start displaying because they want no people will talk, it will gain more traffic to their this thing, but they shouldn't have a limit to all these things. That's my take on this, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. And you are very, very correct. Thank you. I just wish that things will change, like regarding safeguarding, because it's very, very important. Children should be protected more. Only time we hear these stories, it doesn't give anybody joy. It's not good at all.
At all.
So thank you for your input.
You're welcome, ma'am. Okay, bye.
Oyoyo.
Hello, Mommy Fechi. Good morning. Hi, Mel. Good morning. I've been listening at the background, but hunger won't begin kill me, so I went to grab food, breakfast.
Very important. Yeah.
Thank you for lending your voice on this conversation, because we might say because they did not go to. No, education does not limit you from wisdom. For the fact that I did not go to school, wisdom is required as you parent your children. And she was saying that she doesn't want to take her children to her place of business. At this time, she has no option. She has to take her children to her place of business. I don't know how old the child is again. I don't know if she's 5 or
5.
She's 5. Okay, she's still very small. After I watched her video yesterday, what came to my mind was me growing up, because the ages of our kids were actually the age I lost my father, and my mother had 8 of us. So the first 4 of my mom's children, they were already in secondary school. They were in JS1. I think 2 were in JS1, JS3. No, the first set, 3 were in secondary school. The fourth one among them was about writing common entrance to get into college. So he got accepted in CKC that time. It was a boarding school kind of program. So he went to CKC. He comes on holidays. Then the rest of us were in elementary school all the way to primary 1. Okay. So I remember that time I was in primary 1. Then my little brother was not qualified to be in primary 1, so he was doing the kindergarten in the school. So when we end school, we usually close before the primary 4 people. We close earlier. So we had to walk on the sidewalk because our school wasn't far from our home. We'll follow other children from our street to walk the sidewalk, and we get home. We'll get home, I will be the one that will take care of my little one because every other person had gone to school. At some point, my mother had her cousin staying with us, but she was also doing tertiary schooling at the time because she can't bring her and not educate her. Kind of. So when I heard the Jew story, it took me back. I said, how did I even survive? How did we survive? But my time is different from today's young kids. My time, your neighbor was a good neighbor. These days, neighbors are no longer trusted. When we come back, we already know where to reach out for our house key. We open the house. People living in on the first, we live on the will I say what American call first floor. Then the other people live on the story building. How is it called? We had a 1-story building, so we live on the ground floor. Then we had a neighbor that lived on the first floor. Our neighbor is a nurse. She has her own family. So sometimes she stays during the day because if she works night, but her shift fluctuates. So the moment she hears that, she will call, if you Nanatago, I say, yes, ma'am. Then we'll now open the door.
Those days are so different.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. Oh God.
We'll warm the food, we'll eat, and then my little brother will go playing soccer. By the time we finish, I will call on him. He'll come out from the street and shout his name wherever he was playing soccer. He'll run back to the house. I'll give him a bath. And then before my bigger sisters will come back, we have eaten lunch and all of that. So I was like, I don't know, because when your father is not there, when your mother is the only one doing it, it's very difficult, it's very challenging. We are lucky. We had elder ones, you understand? But despite we had people that were older than us, I was still the one that would walk home with my brother because our closing time were different from my siblings. And I was still the one that will warm the food and then we'll eat lunch pending when they come back the next hour. But it's just that next hour. And most times we just go to our house and stay until the bigger ones come in. And then, like I said, the streets were safe when we were small. You know, every mother in that our street was a mother to you. If they see you doing something bad, they will even beat you before your mother will get back home. So, but today is different. We didn't have smartphone growing up. So this kind of evil mind that children have these days to know how to get into sexual things, they weren't there. But the only thing I will advise to you, because she's playing very ignorant and I'm very angry with her on that. You can't be playing ignorant and you have a smartphone. It's no longer permitted for you to play ignorant. You should be able to have heard 1 or 2 persons, even if you're not listening to YouTube. How about Linda Ikeji? You can read the blog and know what others are doing or what has happened to people. You learn from it. You don't want to wait until you become the statistics. Learn from other people's mistakes before it gets to you. So you know how to handle raising your children as a widow. It's not an easy job for her. But I don't know the kind of business she's doing now. When Choice raised that fund, she said she was selling akara. It's safer. If I were in her shoes to bring my children where I sell akara, they will sit on the bench. If we finish, we'll all go home. Than leaving my children in the hands of people that I can't trust. I'm very possessive. When I gave birth to my first child, the nurses came and put her on the couch, her baby crib. I said, no, She stays in bed with me. And that is it. I can't even begin to tell you the kind of pain I felt when I heard the way she handled that her daughter's story.
It really upset me. Upset me so much.
She did not say that she carried the boy immediately straight to his father and warn them, because they are neighbors, and warn them, look at what your son is in, so that the parents of that boy will give the boy a good whipping and see if they can still arrest the situation and even interrogate further. How many children in the compound have you been doing this?
Exactly.
So the way she said, who cares about him? Who wants to hear another incident?
Another one. That one.
Another incident. I am one person. I'm very passionate about a girl child because I have daughters. And Mommy Fetch, let me be honest with you here. If you know what this 12-year-old know, when you were 21, you did not have an idea.
It's true.
What 12 years? The story you shared on your live stream, on your premiere about 10 and 12.
Yes, those two. We're going to come to that. Yes.
So please, nobody should make excuse for your children. Nobody should make excuse. If you're not ready to be a mother, don't have them. Don't, because you're chasing money and be doing something. That's why most of the kids here, they will carry push and kill their mother. Because their mother was leaving them alone, packing all the jobs in her nursing school. Then she would give them $1,000 to be spending. They wouldn't know when their child will get such a weapon and keep in the house. So I really pray Uju will do the needful. Report this incident to the girls, to the boys' parents. And also, how old is this boy we are talking about? Is it?
Because she did say 12, 14, 15.
If the boy is 15, he's considered a semi-adult.
You don't know which one that did it. She never
if the boy is 12, if the boy is 12, I can understand. He can still be controlled. But if he's 15, he's a man, a full-fledged man.
Yeah.
So she needs to take action and not just what she posted on the internet. And please, anybody that knows her should tell her these are not the kind of things you share on social media. In as much as Nigeria is what it is, they still have child law. Anybody that wants to be mean to you can pick it up and then prosecute them, and they will see how they will take your children and put them in motherless babies' home. She should be careful what she throws out on the internet.
Yes. How can you come out to share this kind of thing?
But something else I want to add is the fact that I feel like a smart person would know that as a woman without a husband, you have your children with you, do a business that you'll be able to take your children with you. According to what Mommy Fechi said, that Choice TV, they raised money for her. Why didn't she rent a shop where she will be able to, you know how they used to do those? My stepmom used to. My stepmom used to have a chemist, and in that chemist, there's a way they did the counters. Behind the counter, you can lay down there. There's a small mattress there. You can lay down there. So we used to have shops like that. So if you know that you don't have a husband, you don't have anybody to help you, you don't have house help, nothing, you don't even have the income for that, why not get from the money they raise for you, get a shop, start selling provisions, sell those kind of things. Nigeria people eat a lot of bread. Nigeria people will eat fish, roast fish, fry your akara outside, do those things, but have a space when the kids come back from school. They will be able to come meet you in the shop. They will have lunch there in the shop with you, and they will sleep on the mat on the floor. Didn't we all sleep on the floor? Did we? We did, Peme. So I think her friends, people that know her, should speak to her. Nobody's trying to. She brought this out, hence we're talking about it. If she didn't, we wouldn't know about it. And we're not going to speak about it. But we're just trying to say, keep your kids with you. Your eyes should always be on your kids.
Just advising her, and that's what she did. That's all. That's the lesson to be learned from this, honestly. And what you are saying, Mel, about her taking her children, staying where they are. There's a story I heard, or I saw something where similar thing. A mother who lost her husband, and is a young woman with about 3 or I think it was even 4 kids, and she was doing similar thing, frying akara, doing all this roadside thing with her children there. As young as that 5-year-old, you saw the 5-year-old doing something like this, helping her, and one man drove past and came to where they were selling their akara and everything. And asked her, why are the children not in school? Because it's school day. Why are you doing this with your children? Why are they not in school? She broke down. I lost my husband 2-3 years ago or something like that. And my people are so poor, there's nobody. So I have to do this with my children. When I am able to raise enough money, then they can start going to school. Do you know that man took up these children and trained them, sent that money to nothing attached, and helped her? So what I'm trying to say is that she will say, oh, I'm suffering, but you don't know where help will come from. But the important thing is to do all you can for those children. And God can send helpers from anywhere to help you. And if not, have that akara with them. Do whatever it is with them. Let them see you, that you are trying with them and you're suffering. Before you know it, they will get to a stage where they are independent and you can do more. But do what you can with them under your care. Because they're so young.
Mommy Faith, you know, she said that she has a younger sister living with her, but she has to work.
Work, yes.
So which one is more important? She can afford, if she...
Yes, I heard that.
To beg her younger sister to stay at home with the children, even if it's 5,000 naira a month or 2,000 or 1,000, you'll be giving her, because she feeds from your house, you're housing her. She should be able to help you too. But they were busy, they were so quick to go and get a job for the younger sister. Yeah. Then why would you have to carry extra mouth, which is your younger sister, to live with you when you're still struggling to feed 3 children?
Feed 3 of them, that's the thing.
That extra mouth cannot be there to watch your children. It's not that she's going to school, but she has to work. That's the way she said it. So I don't know what priority is more important for these people. That's why I don't understand.
Exactly. But it's really funny, you know, because from what you just said, I remember before I get admission, my sister is a nurse. So, you know, they don't give them enough time after they put to bed to resume work. You have to figure out what you're going to do with the children. That's what Nigeria is. And then UPTH, they were just trying to fix the crèche. Okay, they were still building the building. I used to hold my sister's baby on my hand and we sit down on a normal like dining table chair for hours from morning that she will walk until when she will close every day. I used to carry that child, follow her to work, sit there, feed the child, carry the child, put the child on my chest to sleep until we will go back home. And that's what I did until I started running remedial program. And I will go from Uniport back to town to help her up until another of my sister was able to come and take over when I entered into school. But then she had finished, so she came to come and help and all of that. So I don't understand this style where people will say you have to work and all of that. What's the need? Sometimes you have to sacrifice. When it's a family member, you have to sacrifice.
You have to
what
sacrifice.
If you have to work?
I don't understand that
something else, I beg.
You know, somebody was telling me, I was sharing with somebody, this generation, they're very selfish.
Yes.
Maybe the girl said, I'm not here to stay
Absolutely.
at home. Yeah. I'm not here to stay at home and watch. When I tell my story, people don't understand. When I finished university, and my sister that raised me, I look onto her like a mom. So she had a baby at the time, and I got a job at Fidelity Bank, but I hadn't gone to law school. So she now said, well, wait, if you take this job now, are you still going to go to law school? Because they wanted me to go to law school. I said, yeah, I can, but at least I have 1 year to stay at home. Because of Nigerian ASU strike, my university had a lot of, set that have not gone to law school before us. And you have a slot to provide. I think it's either 150 students per university or something, depending on the size of your university. So I had to wait for 1 year. That 1 year, they said I should not take the job. I asked my mother. My mother said, no, that I should just be home to help my sister. After all, she just had to be. I stayed home for 1 year, looking after my sister.
This generation is so different.
I'm telling you, do you know what my sister, the daughter, told me years after, what you did, that was so sacrificial. I can't do it for anybody, even mommy. I can't do it for mommy. It was her younger brother that took care of. Her younger brother.
Can you imagine?
And she told me she cannot do it. No, she said no, she can't do it. That was wasting her own precious time sitting at home looking after somebody. This generation, they are so selfish. Maybe she has begged the sister to stay home. She said no. Then you find a way to go and live. By the time you pay rent living in the city in Onitsha, then you'll be able to understand you have to help your sister.
Yes, exactly. How if she's going to live with her and you just won't help, let her go.
Yeah.
She's as good as gone, because there's no point being there and going to work from her house and not looking after the children, helping her with the children. So she can.
It's not that she can afford help. Even help these days, Nko, help is not safe. Mel, I watched your video. After watching your video, I read the story on Linda Ikeji, a nanny that they hired.
Exactly.
Nanny, had to remove a baby's diaper to start sucking babies whatever.
Hey,
baby in diaper 1 year plus.
Exactly, 1 year boy.
If not for CCTV,
17 years old nanny. 17 years old nanny.
You see?
So please, people should try and figure out how to raise their children. When we say, they say because we cannot afford help in overseas, that's why we are always talking about nanny. No. If you have nanny, install CCTV. The likes of Nez Peperempe, she said it and she's still saying it and she can't stop saying it.
Yes.
Because you don't know who is handling your child.
She said that even at work, she can monitor what is happening in her home.
In her home.
That's smart. That's very smart. Yes. Honestly, if you have to go to work, don't do things like that to secure your
some
children.
Parents are too relaxed.
Yeah, they're too comfortable. No, I trust my nanny. No, don't trust anybody when it comes, except where from the time your children can start talking and you have to teach them how to be outspoken. Don't let anybody intimidate you by telling you, if you tell my mommy you're going to die, you're not dying anywhere. You are still here. You're going to be alive.
Exactly.
We have to teach our children those things. Yeah. I'm happy that Uju's daughter, despite the pressure the boy was putting there, no, it's not true, it's not true. She was able to express herself.
Yes.
And according to that her video, she said it wasn't once that the boy did that to her. It was not one time.
Okay, I didn't even get that bit.
She wrote it.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be once.
She typed it that she asked her daughter if it has happened before. She typed that part. She didn't want to say. She said what she typed. Yes, it has happened before.
Wow.
So imagine what it is for that child.
I missed that one. Oh no! Oh no!
A child
there may have been penetration, and she should have just gone to. Let's message for her. And let's message for her in her thing. That she should have gone to check that child up in the hospital just to make sure that she's still intact, and then take proper action.
STDs.
Take proper action. Yes, So this is just for us all today, especially Emstel and the rest of you in Nigeria. Please, if you know other people, Maureen, I'm sure you all are smart ladies. That's kind of thing. But I'm sure people around you who may not know. Please don't let people get away with things. Things like this are very, very serious. It can damage the child forever, and we cannot, just be. Nigeria, they are smart in stupid things. When it comes to things they will be smart about, they can't. Yeah. So this kind of thing, they have to have safeguarding. They have to have proper places that they will go and report people. But as you say, that girl may go out to the police and report. The police may even tell her, say, where were you? Are you not the mother? Where were you when it was happening? Please get out from this station. They can do that. I can't pass them for anything, but at least let her go first and tell us that this is what I went to the police. This is what the police say. So we know that she's taking action. I took her to the hospital to get her examined to make sure that everything is still okay down there and stuff like that. So, but that did not come. You just say, oh, I'm happy. I've got it out of my chest by sharing this with you. For us to do what with? There's no lesson learned there. So that's why we are doing this update just for her. Hopefully, if she doesn't hear, people who know her may share this with her. Tell her.
Assuming she said in that her video that the moment my daughter told me these were the steps I take.
Yes.
So other mothers, please, these are what you should watch out for. Always teach your child to speak up, no matter what.
Exactly.
And after I confronted the boys with his parent, I had to report. I would take my child to doctor. They did the examination. She's still fine or she's not fine. They did a screen for STD. She's fine or she's not fine. Because in Nigeria, from what I heard, If you report a case of RAPE in Nigeria to some hospitals, they will help you, especially when that action was already done. They will help you, link you with an NGO that handles such matter, so that they can help prosecute the action for you.
Yes.
That's what some hospitals are doing. But I don't know, like City of Onitsha. I can't say Onitsha people are more, they have more time looking for money than looking for human rights. I know it's applicable in Abuja. They have such facilities in Abuja and Lagos, but I don't know about Onitsha. But Uju should know what is more important. If she had to ask her younger sister to live with her, let her younger sister give her some time, her time on how to follow up with her children. Then again, the money they raised for her was over 1.5 million naira.
That's what I heard. It's huge. Yeah.
I was there. It was over 1.5 million naira. So that money, she could have used it to expand that house shed where she was selling. Put a kiosk on top with a little provision, just like Mel said. I know of growing up, I know of a woman, she was selling an afia table, na afia, table market where you have and all of that. If her kids are back from school, they will go straight to the market. And then the woman will feed them because she has stove there too. She will feed them in the market. And then if they're feeling sleepy, she will put them where she had some space already created in that small shade. Life is different for everybody. Just like our fingers are not equal, everybody's life shouldn't be on the same level. You have to manage your own life according to where the society or where circumstances has placed you.
Yeah.
If the circumstance placed you like Uju's issue now, she has to manage it.
Yeah.
Honestly, there is no excuse. I'm going to give this example here. My mother has more girls than boys. We are 6 girls in my family. The moment my big sisters started growing puberty age, they were starting having breasts and all of that. My mother closed her restaurant business. Not because she wasn't making money. She was making tons of money. She had 2 restaurants at the same place. She was killing it financially. She closed that business and switched to another business because she knows how people can come into your restaurant to buy food. They are not only there to buy food, they are eyeing your daughters.
Yes.
So based on that, she stopped that.
Very sensible woman. Yes.
So we have to make choices with what circumstances has placed before us. And don't let that circumstance define you. Tell the circumstance, I am equal to the task. She's a young woman. She should have try and see what others are doing to survive and do it.
Yes.
What others are doing. And even if you have a male child, doesn't mean they are safe. People also do the same kind of thing to male little kids.
Absolutely.
So please, anybody that knows Uju should communicate this to her. Let her do the needful. And if possible, delete that video. Because it's not speaking well of her or child.
No.
It's not.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I don't know if anybody...
And something else I want to add. This thing that our people think that having house help make you to look expensive, rich woman, rich man, wealthy this, wealthy that, class and all of that. That is absolute BS. Mothers, please, no matter how tired you are, bathe your children before you go to that work you're going. If you come back, bathe them yourself before they go to bed. All this house help, do this one for me. This other guy, go help me bath pikin. House boy, gate man, carry this pikin, go wash in yash. Stop it. Because you don't know what those people are doing with your children. Do it yourself. Pay attention to your children. Do those things yourself. It doesn't make you feel like you're a boss and all those things are just stuck in the brain. At the end of the day, no matter how wealthy you are, even if you're the richest person in this world, when you die, you're going to be lowered 6 feet. The same way that poor man that has no roof over his head, when he dies, the person will still be lowered 6 feet. So people should stop this whole big manism thing that, I cannot do this. House help, do everything. And you don't even pay attention. And things like this are happening all around you. And you just feel nonchalant and you're all relaxed and all of that. People need to stop. It's time to open eyes, because even if we say call the police, they are doing their own too. A lot of people, you know, the level of molestation going on in that nation. I can tell you, 99.9% of people in that Nigeria has been molested in one way or the other. You know, these things happen for so long. You hear so many stories from years back, and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. For example, like the video I did just today, like 1 year old. How did you even think of something like that? If that woman didn't have CCTV in her home, how would she have known? And according to her, the lady is so good. She cleans everywhere. She does every job. She has never complained about her house help. The girl is so good. But the girl is causing more harm to your 1 year old child.
Okay.
So people just need to open their eyes.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I just want us to talk briefly about the other issue. And the question I was asking is, for those who have boys and girls and who don't have enough room for them, because the ideal thing, when they get to a certain age in this country, when they are giving you house, or before you start buying your own house, when council used to give people house, if you have 2 children and that a boy and a girl, the council, no matter their age, the council will not give you 2-bedroom house. They will give you 3-bedroom, because they expect that girl to be in her own room and the boy to be in her own room. But unfortunately, sometimes when they even do that, I know a particular incident when they did that, but the parents felt that money is more important. They put the 2 children in one room and they used that room to give to somebody, a friend who was paying rent for to them. So those children remained in the same room until their teenage years. I didn't hear anything that happened. This one that happened that I told in my story about the girl and the boy having it on with each other in their room, because they have TV in their room, they watch blue movies, and they were practicing on their own. So my question is, at what age do you think that it's okay or not okay for siblings who are opposite sex to share a room or even bed?
Mommy Fitch is never okay. It's never okay. You know, they start teaching them biology.
That's my own take as well.
Yeah. They start teaching them biology at age 10. Okay. Age 10, that's when they will start teaching them parts of the body. What is it? They will send a registered nurse to teach this to 10-year-old with their teacher, and then parents will be there. These days they do it online. So if you don't want your child to see the graphics, you guys can excuse, but they've passed all the information before showing you the part of the body, what it does and what it doesn't do. So if your child is well educated, that her private, nobody should touch it. Take that home and run with it. Then the doctors overseas will teach your child as early as that child can hear and talk. They will tell your child, this place is called private. It's very personal. It's only mommy that has access to it. To bathe you, clean you. Even daddy cannot go there. You understand? Even me, that is your doctor, I can't go there unless mommy grants permission. So the state will sound this into the children's ears until they become 10. They now know, nobody's supposed to touch me. And they don't stop at that. They will still take it to the school to teach them biology, parts of the body, what privacy means, and all of that. So to me, it's never good.
It's never good.
And if the state...
I had only one sex children, but still they had their, about a point, obviously they were sharing 2 in each room until they get to a certain age when they have to become, their own.
They are the same sex. The same sex can stay in the same room. That's fantastic.
Even when we are growing up, and we only have one brother, he always has his own room. We girls, we always share with each other. But so same sex should never. But this particular family, 12 and the 10-year-old, having it on with each other. And but she thought it's not something normal. Went to the school and was sharing this with her friend. How do you love your brother? Do you love your brother? He said, yes, I love my brother so much. And then went on to discuss more. And the girl was shocked because the girl has been taught by her mom that one is a no, nobody goes there. But for your own brother.
Let me fetch it. From what you shared, it's very obvious that the kid's mom never taught them what is okay.
No.
She never did.
Not. She never did. She was so busy working and making money. No, she never did. from all indications. Yeah.
Because if she did, that girl would know when the brother was approaching. She said, no, that's not right. Mommy said it's not right.
Yes.
But she never did.
No, it never did.
Now she has created monster, because it's going to be a battle on how to separate these people that have tangled together. Even if you put them in separate rooms and you still leave them, they will still come. Are they locked inside the room?
Yes.
They will still come out. So it needs a lot of therapy for them to understand the story behind the act they've already committed.
Yeah.
And a such person that will rent an extra room in his, so do you think the person will spend money to go for therapy?
Oh,
they will not.
It's all about money. It's all about how much I'm going to make in that spare room. It's all about money, all this money, to the detriment of your own children. And I mean, those of you with girls, prove me if I'm wrong. I heard that it's no more in our time. I remember in my own time, I did not start seeing my period until at the age of 13. I heard that now sometimes they can start at 9 or 10. So that girl at 10, if she's already having her period, and that boy, I don't know that he's old enough to, I don't know. So
he might be old enough to do, because my friend said that one of the weirdest moments in her nursing career was when she assisted in delivery of an 11-year-old girl. And the father of the baby is 13.
Okay.
So you can imagine, they are both teenagers, so you can't charge them to
wow.
Hey, what is going on?
Now, that was most challenging, because the body is still very fragile and she has to push, and she couldn't push. They ended up going to cesarean, and the mother couldn't even come because the mother did not know what happened. It was the grandma that was there, and the child was handed over to grandma because the girl is still a child.
Hey.
So everybody should be careful. What these children know, I have a 12-year-old, she'll be 13 in a few months. What they know, they can tell you every part of your body and how a child is conceived. And let us stop playing ignorant about what is going on. This no longer like when we grew up. When we grew up, we had to go to the library to use internet and computers. But now with their phone, they can Google anything they read from school, get to know deep about it, and all of that. So every mother should be awake.
Very awake. Oh, hey, look at what.
But then you also have to consider those people back home that they have so many kids and they live in one room. And then at night, all the children sleep together on the floor, and then mom and dad is doing the do, and the children can also hear it.
Now you talked about it. A YouTuber here, I can't remember who said it, that the first time she realized what doing the do was from her uncle. Then she went to stay with her uncle. She didn't know what they were doing. It was until she became grown that she realized, oh, that thing uncle and auntie were doing on the bed was doing the do. Because it was in one room, they used cotton to demarcate. We all get it, you understand? There were situations like that. You'll be here, you know that this family, they have one room, but they can do better with that one room. You can actually, instead of using cotton to demarcate, you can call a carpenter to put a solid wood. You understand? Demarcate the place well. There's always something to an improvise in every situation.
And those are the ones that will go and have so many children. You just wonder why so many children. Is it Spicy? Sorry, I didn't know you're there. Sorry, before we move on, so here in the UK, did you not hear about the lady that had a baby for her own 15-year-old son? The world is turning upside down. Chelupa, hold on. So the mother and her own son, who is 15. Hey, okay. There's nothing I wouldn't hear.
Mommy Page, are you shocked? Thank you for bringing this here. See, Mommy Page, I have a video clip. I will send it to you. I wanted to do a video about it. I will send it to you in case you do fast video, because I don't know when I'm ever going to do that. The lady was interviewed. I think she's a Ghanaian or something. She used to be a lesbian, so she was interviewed that right now she missed her partner. She was trying to get back to being straight or something, but it's very challenging. So one day she was feeling lonely at home, and the son asked, "Mommy, what is it what do you need? If you already have a grown boy here, if you need it." This woman came on radio station telling the world that she did it with her son. She did it with her son. I was like,
well, maybe.
What is this life turning to? And she was proud to say it, your son. So I screenshot that video. I said I was going to do a video about it. I never got the time to do. So what AA said is happening.
Yeah. My goodness. Sorry, who is Osina? Who is Osina? It sounded like Osinachi.
Abio.
I know Osinachi. Oh, it's Osinachi now. Who is this one? Because did you come in with a different name? My real face is editing. I am trying to catch up. Who is this? Please, what's your real name then? Because I don't know. This name is not familiar. We only know of one Osinachi. Who is Osinachi? Osinachi. Okay. Osinachi. Who are you, please? Let us know you better. Who is where? She did. She drugged the son. Hold on. She drugged the son. How can she drug the son and the son will be doing the do? Now it's getting more complicated.
It's possible.
No, there's a lot of stories like that now. If there are programs that you can find those stories. What about the woman that planned with her son and chased away his wife just so she can marry her son?
Yay.
Yeah, so
hello everyone.
It's getting
nice. Welcome.
Greetings. Hello, Yo-Yo Wan, your mommy. Greetings.
Mel. And Spice. Sorry, we kept you talking. Thank you so much, my dear.
No, it's okay. Greetings. I've been listening and I've been at the chat there. Truth is that the kind of abominable things we hear we just leave you cringing, like it churns your stomach, and you'll be wondering, people who indulge in things like this, are they human beings? Do they have parents? Are they raised by parents? You see, where Oyoyo, you were talking about parents giving their children adult sex education at the early age, why the school also do their part. Truth is, back home, especially in Nigeria, a lot of parents are holier than thou. They are too religious to discuss sex education. They are too holy, too religious to discuss things like this with their daughters or with their sons. They feel like this sex is how do I put it, like is demonic, like it's something you shouldn't, and you wonder how they give birth to their children. If you cannot open your mouth and discuss as a parent with your daughter, your granddaughter who is already budding, boobs, if you cannot sit down and discuss this with her, then you are not fit to be a parent. You're not fit to be a mother, especially in today's world. If you feel your mouth is too holy to open and tell your daughter, this is this, do not let this. I remember when we were growing up, sometimes I look back and I say, I don't know if we should excuse our parents or just say, some of them have made these mistakes. We know better.
Exactly.
Some of our parents never opened their mouth to say this. And instead, they will say, if a man touches you, you will get pregnant.
That's the type of reason I got as well. Yeah.
And so they will threaten.
I was running from men like mad.
That's what they still do till now.
Really? And they will threaten the girl that if a man touch you, I will put pepper there. I will beat you to this. I will do this. And they threaten the girl. She lives with so much fear without really understanding what is happening with her body, the changes that are occurring. Next is to go to her peers, her friends, and woe betide the parents if the friends are already into it. They will tell her, forget it, it's nothing. There's no way your mother will ever know. Is she going to dip her hand in there? So my major problem is our mothers especially are too religious. I want to, because I know that is the only thing keeping them. It's not because they're not educated, but some of them feel, I can't be having such conversation with a child. 10 years is already an adult. It's growing already. It's no longer that baby. 10 years, understand. Here in Brazil, everyone in the chat, young ladies young girls as little as 13, 14 get pregnant. They begin to give birth from 14. Yes.
Yeah, you talk about 11-year-old that gave birth. That's what Oyoyo said. Yeah.
I'm even saying it's common here. Very, very common. Like it's common to see a 13, 14 carrying baby. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
It's very, very common. I have a neighbor that gave birth at 14, a neighbor's child. They are all over the places. So before 20, some of them already have 2, 3. So it's about time we wake up. We can do better. This generation can do better. We can do better than our parents in terms of giving this education to our children. We can do better than what they did. So as to avert all these things, imagine molesting a little baby, a baby of 1 year old. What is the mother thinking, leaving a baby? Thank God for the camera. Some parents just go to work and come back. They have a nanny, they have house help. They don't check on these children.
How can people be so...
But Spice, in case of that 1 year old, what would she even notice? Even if the mother check, the thing will only be red for a few seconds. And by the time she comes back for work, it has gone back to its normal color. She won't know.
Honestly, it's heartbreaking. I don't know which one. I don't know what to... Especially career women.
If you remember, I don't know, Spice it. You know, even watching Nigerian movies that they are kissing, before you know, your parents don't tell you, like all of you, go out, just because they are kissing in a movie. So you know,
they will just pause it and ask everybody to get out, with not knowing that you see that place. That time they are showing that thing, you start explaining, you start telling them, do not do this, do not engage in this. This is wrong. Instead, you send them away, and curiosity. Human beings are curious, so they want to know why is mommy sending me away? Why is daddy asking me to go out to close my eyes? They get curious and they want to practice
midnight.
it.
You now go and watch it now. Lower the volume when your parents are sleeping.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, when I came to YouTube, a lot of people saw my case. The first time I came to YouTube. One of the process that we started with 2 years ago, it will be 3 years this year. When she saw my daughter recently, she called me, Oyoyo, how come this girl has grown overnight in front of our eyes? My daughter wasn't the way she was 3 years ago. Spice, you can see the difference. We're even maybe very soon we'll start wearing the same size of bra.
Of course.
So the thing is this, don't be looking at them with that eye, they are still kids. If you don't teach them, somebody will teach them outside.
Somebody else will teach them.
So it's
Thank
better.
you so much. Sorry. I'm so excited to have a man here, my son, Cos Rep Corner. It's good to have a young man's input into all this. Very, very exciting to hear him out.
Thank you very much, Mommy. Good evening, ma. Good evening, co-hosts. Good evening, everybody.
Welcome,
yes,
welcome, Cos Rep. Break the last table leg.
The remaining leg, yes.
It's quite absurd. Oh, English will not finish me. It's quite unfortunate.
So don't hit yourself.
It's quite unfortunate that we have lost that touch of being parents. Sorry to say, I'm not a parent yet, but I'm just trying to say some persons, when we see things that happen. I was born in the midst of girls, for example. I have 4 sisters. And those days, we used to even take our bath, our shower together. It will be raining and you see all of us outside. Because why? The system was still very, very naive. Let me use that word. But in these present days, mainly like somebody said in the comment just now, the working class women who have tried to change the status quo or how it's supposed to be. And it's quite unfortunate that when you tell them, like Mommy said, when I was growing, my mother taught me, if you touch a woman here, you get her pregnant for 1. If you touch her here, she will give birth to twins. If you now touch her in the lab, she will give birth to 3 children. It was still in my head until I read it in biology, in SS2, that it must be a practical affair. What am I trying to say? Many of us are willing to be mothers, but we don't know that there are many duties to that particular name, mother. Being a mother is common. Being a mother, anybody can be a mother. But I tell you, what differentiates you from the other woman by your side is the way you take care of your child or your kids, as the case may be. It's quite unfortunate that we have left that value. We have seen it as if it does not matter. Like Spice said, she said at the age of 14, it's common. It's not only common in Brazil, it's common with those who are Latinos in general. You could see them at 28 already. They have 2 kids, 3 kids. And when you tell them, I want to get pregnant, they tell you, no, I'm giving birth, I'm not giving birth again. At 28, she's already done with giving birth. It's possible. I have experienced it. We have many of them in Spain. So it's good we know our norms. That is one of the problems we are having. A Nigerian man who sees a Latino as his counterpart, you can never be the same. Take it or you leave it. He or she is a Latino, you are an African. It's not the same. Even if, for example, you were opportune to live with them, maybe relocate to Western world, you now stay in maybe Argentina, Brazil, as the case may be, it does not still change the fact that you are a Nigerian. So it's good we know the norms. In a Nigerian family, as at then, our parents will try to lock us in the house, try to take away the keys. But you know that recently, children that they lock in the house even get pregnant while still locked inside that same house. So it becomes a problem. Is it that you are caging them not to come out, or you are trying to protect them not to come out, or you feel you are doing the right thing by caging them in the house not to come out and meet friends? I've said it. I am not a father yet, but I hope to be soon. My child, my son or my daughter, we need to be informed. Please tell me if Uncle Nosa touches you here. Tell me if he touches you here. I want to know. If he even puts his mouth here, tell me. Let me go and tell that person that I am looking at him. I'm monitoring him. My eyes against your eyes.
Boss, let me pause you there.
Okay.
Before Uncle Nosa will start touching, you have to tell the child, first of all, your body is so private, it's personal, it's you and you only. I can only, as your mother, examine if you're having a problem. Let's say something is going under your armpit. I have to look. Something is getting wrong under the JJ. I had to look before I will know if it's something we have to go to the doctors or not. So pre-education before an action, because that's what is going to help the child. No, when the person is crossing the line, if the child understands that my body is everything on my body is mine, nobody has the right to talk. I really love the way doctors in Western world educate young kids. When I was a first-time mom, that was my shock. I thought by the time I was a second-time mom, they were not going to do the same thing. Every child, they must educate you. You know, they are talking to a small child, 3 years old. You know your body, you're private, nobody goes there. The child will be whooping at the nurse. Okay, and she will nod. Next hospital visit, age 4, they will say the same thing. Age 5, they will say the same thing. At some point, it starts sticking. I remember one of my friend's daughter. She was about 6 when she came to do a sleepover with us. She said her father was more like the house husband because he stays with the kids while the wife does night duties. So I now asked her, she said her father used to give her a bath until she turned 4. And she told her, you can't beat me anymore. Yeah, because she understands that her body is her private. So daddy can't beat her anymore.
Yeah, that means she was taught early. Yeah.
At age 4, I was shocked. It's because what led to the conversation? I asked her, do you want me to give you a bath? She said no, that she can do it. I said, are you sure? She was 6. I said, are you sure? She said yes, that she bathes herself at home. I said, really? Who taught you? That was what led to the conversation. So they should know early for people to let them know anybody that is a stranger cannot cross this line. That's the only reason why they can actually hit the person back if you try to call, or raise an alarm if you're trying to touch them, or even call the 911 if they have a phone. But if you don't prepare their mind before the action, they will be telling you after the fact. And that one is heartbroken. Like Uju's story.
Yeah.
Yes. We are saying the same thing. All I'm saying is that a parent should please know where he or she has to come in as a parent. Nobody is saying it's not your child. It's your child. But there's this connection, like somebody wrote in the comment section, there is this connection, that there should be this bond, so that the child is not scared of telling you what is going on with her. That's another problem we are facing. A mother does not want to hear what the child is saying. She feels that the person the daughter mentioned or the son mentioned is too trusted not to have a skeleton in his or her cupboard. They feel that yes, this person is too honest to be doing something like this. I have experienced it. Let me share a story. When I was in secondary school, there was this particular classmate of mine who had an issue. Then the father's younger brother was living with them, and she was, I think we were in GSS 1, GSS 2, if I'm not mistaken. This particular girl was beautiful. Everywhere was, at GSS 1 now, when the thing starts coming fresh that time, everything was pumping and coming. At the end, she told us in class that her uncle is disturbing her. At a point, then I was a class prefect of my class. I had to tell the elder sister who was in my brother's class, SS that time, to please monitor your uncle. Your sister is complaining. But the lady said my uncle is too big for her. She's too small for my uncle. I kept quiet. On the long run, we were in GSS 2 third term when this girl got pregnant. Who got her pregnant? Uncle. So it's good we try to neglect that art of uncle cannot do this. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has the monopoly, as they say it, monopoly of power. A small thing that the man can see or the woman can see. Women still molest young guys. Men still molest young girls. So it's both ways. The little thing that the uncle or the auntie will see at that point in time, she might be in the mood. You don't know A, you don't know B, and you'll be the sacrificial lamb. So please, let's create that connection. Let's create that bond. Let's be there for our kids. People like us who don't have yet, we are praying to have. And when we see the way you guys have taken care of your own, some of us will learn from the good, others will learn from the bad. Like the story they shared a few days ago, a lady gave the child medicine, locked the child in the room, and went for party for 2 days. Who does that? There are things you hear, you'll be wondering what is going on. And before she got back, the baby was already cold. You go blame after 2 days, plus the overdose medicine she gave to the baby. So please, let's try to create. And I don't really know. I am not questioning God, but I really want to know why He gives these things to people who don't want it. I'm not judging Him, just asking Him as a randomly. There are people who need just one, who don't even have one. Why some persons who have, there was even the one we saw on TV a few days ago, they found a baby in the dustbin. The mother shook knives by the side of her hips. The woman stabbed the baby and threw the baby with the knife away. What is going on? At the end, you have people who don't even have one. And we have people who just do, people who just do this thing for fun, and it enters. So I really don't know how God is arranging it. I'm not God. I'm just like thinking, why is it like this? That's what persons like the one
merciful, and He gives room for repentance.
Yes, so. like the one I watched yesterday. After 9 years of marriage, God blessed her with 5 kids. After 9 years of waiting. So I don't know why people will have to wait for that long to get. Why some will just go for fun. One or fun, as they will say it, and it will enter. So it's really, anyway, as a human being, I'm still trying to figure out where all this is going. So please, those of us who are parents, please give us something to look up to. Teach us in advance. We look at you to learn. When we see, like when I see what people are doing with their kids in Europe, that I am, to even get belly, to even give person belly will tire me, because I don't even expect somebody will just leave a baby in the house and go out from morning to night. Baby will be no food, nothing, no care. Sincerely speaking, let's look at it, and please let's create our time for our kids. It's very, very important.
Very important. Thank you so much for that input. For somebody who is not yet married, who has not had a child yet, you're learning a lot. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Is there anybody else that has anything else to say? We thought it's going to be like an hour, but we have a lot to talk about. And so what we have said about siblings sharing room, that should be a no from any age. Once you have
I want to say something based on this. There's a friend of mine here in Brazil. When they have three kids, one boy and 2 daughters. As the first daughter is 8 years now. When she became 7, when she turned 7, the father, they have a very big bathroom, and there's no room like for the girl alone to be, because the boy is equally growing. What the father did was to, from that bathroom there, because it's massive, the father had to demarcate the bathroom and created a small room for the girl. Worked on that room that he demarcated and created extra room for the daughter. So, like Oyoyo mentioned, do all you can at least. If it needs using is it bacha? No, not bacha. What is it? Plywood to demarcate the room. Do so. Whatever you can do to help the girl child as she's growing up, just do so to avoid stories. Because Hadainu always comes at lies. We cannot claim to be ignorant of what the society has turned into today. And we cannot continue to pretend. So parents should try. If you know you cannot take care of financially, you can't take care of, large number of children, 2, 3, 4, just have 1 or 2 that you can take care of. And then when you have the financial, strength, you can have more if age is still on your side. But protect your children, because a lot of kids are damaged. The adults we see today molesting children, some of them were molested when they were young. Some of them like they are repeating what happened to them. Inside they are damaged beyond. I don't even know. They are so damaged that they are finding a way to heal, and the only way they can heal is to repeat this same thing that happened to them. And a lot of people are covering so much. Honestly, if what you open like a screen for everyone to see the burden people are carrying, trust me, you will know that so many adults we see today were molested as kids, as children, and some never recover.
No,
what they do is to hurt others.
Yeah, the thing is that our place, they don't even voice it out. Those days, if you tell your parents, like a course talked about trust, they will shut you down. And then as they grow up, they normalize it as one of those things. That's why they will come.
If you even open your mouth and say one brother touch your hand, after flogging 50, the trauma is too much.
Yeah,
the damage is too much. People are hurting inside.
Spice, when you talk about that one, there are also those that are of age to know what is wrong and what is right. They still indulge. I know of a lady. She was sent to do youth service in Port Harcourt. So she had a cousin that lives in Port Harcourt, and that her cousin was newly married. Okay. So this lady, the cousin started admiring her. She was already out of youth service. Let's say she was 24, okay, or 23 or 22. She knew that the cousin admiring her was wrong, but she obliged the cousin. From one, it became a norm. It became like every day. And the cousin has a wife in the house. To the point that this girl said that she cannot do without, getting it down with her cousin. So a lot of things are really wrong with our generation of today, that they have more churches than when I was growing up. It was actually Anglican, Catholic, white garments that for this cherubim and seraphim that were around those days. Then the next thing, Pentecostal started coming. Okay, Deeper Life was there, Redeem was there, but they had 1 or 2 branches. Okay, but these days they have multitude of church. Even the head of the church is doing the same thing that the congregation might report to. So the whole
so true.
So messed up.
Yeah.
How can you tell me a full-grown adult? She is already from NYSC, and she knows what the cousin was doing with her is wrong, and she kept on enjoying it. At some point, it became normal. So when they normalize the act, you understand, they think it's okay. And there is no way those people will heal unless they seek a therapist, actually come out to the open to say what they have been doing at the background. And it's unfortunate when it now comes down to them doing those to young kids that do not know left from right. That's where my heart bleeds.
Yes, that's the one that really, oh dear.
May God help us.
Yes. What else can we say? We've talked about it. We'll just keep talking about it in our different ways. But it is what it is. The world. Give me that old time. Honestly, I know there are things that we have done then that are not wrong, that are not right. Like your parents not giving you proper, telling
education.
You if you go near a man, you become pregnant. And I got that. I took that literally and run with it. You know, and that is true. So if anyone, at a point, I didn't even know I would get married. Because anyone that comes, I say, hey, they have come. That's what my mom said. You know, so they say we can do better. But now it's even just a lot. It's gone the other way around now. It's gone the other way around. And if you think that your child, just like I think it's Oyoyo that said that if your child is young in school, or even their mates will tell them things that you have not told them, so better to start on time.
It's better to start on time. My daughter will come back from school. Okay, yesterday I went for a drama section. One of my kids at school, they had their drama yesterday. So my daughter was telling me, pointing one, she waved at somebody. The big one went with me. So she waved at somebody. And I said, okay, was that not the girl I saw during the time I went for their track and field competition? She said, yes, that she's in 6th grade. 6th grade is 11 years old, that she has a partner already, that she's a lele. I say 6th grade already is doing lele with another young girl. So if you fail to teach your child,
yes,
somebody else will teach your child. Yeah. And mothers, please be on the lookout. If they give you hospital form to fill, read the form. Don't just let your child fill. For the fact that you did not go to school is not an excuse. Ignorance is not a defense in law. People should know that. They will give, if you take your child to hospital, a teenager, they will give them, in the US, they will give them a form that you can actually fill this alone if you don't want your parents to fill with you. I will tell the nurse, no, I will fill with her or with him. You have the right as a parent to say that. And if they tell you that your child can walk into the examining room by herself because she's now a preteen, you tell them, no, I walk in with the child, because you don't know the information. That's where you start hearing, what gender do you relate more with? What gender do you prefer? Nobody should coerce your child into thinking of something else. I saw a beautiful girl. I saw her 2 weeks ago when I went for track and field. I was just admiring them in the field, not knowing that she's already a lele. At that age, she already has a partner, age 11. So please, everybody should, when they say women are now woke women, not woke women in competing with the men. Be woke when it concerns your children.
Yeah. Anyway. Absolutely. You can't say that any other way. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Do anybody else have anything else to say, or anybody in the comment section? Do you have anything else to
say? Before I go, Mama, please. The truth is that there is no way that some persons will say they are not hearing what we are saying, mainly our parents. It is quite unfortunate that it comes from the left ear or the right ear and goes from the opposite ear. But like you always see, we'll keep on preaching. Like we always see, we'll keep on saying with our platform what we can do. I tell you, most of these things we say, some persons will learn from, others will still learn and drop, others will still learn and carry. So it's good we are saying it. It's good we are giving our voice to it. Nobody is, they say, it's perfect. Like in my dialect, nobody, no particular person is the father or the mother of a child. The child belongs to his community. It belongs to everyone. So nobody will say, because it's not my child, let me not advise. You see some child doing some things, you say, it's not my child, does not concern me. It concerns you partially or directly. So you have to know that, yes, no matter, even if it's not your child, it affects you. Like I was watching a video some time ago when I heard that the 8th of one senator in Anambra they were sent to the great beyond. I didn't know how they felt until my in-law went with Apostle's case. That was that Oyoyo could testify. I could feel the pain of losing an in-law who was guiding somebody who didn't even know that yes, people guiding him need to be guarded too. So I was raised because it's not dawned on me that yes, this one now affected me. So if you think it's not your concern, I will not talk about it. Either I'm not their father, I'm not their mother. A day will come when you will have a child. And if somebody is not there to correct, like Oyoyo said, if you don't create that time and the woe betide you, God want to punish you now. You will not allow your child to go and mingle with people who will tell us something different. Then you know that yes, you were the genesis of the problem. And when you get to Revelation, you should be able to remember the verses you have passed before you got there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Anything else from anybody and the co-hosts before we round up? We'll now spend 2 hours. So I think we have done justice to this for now. We'll keep talking. Anything,
let me quickly say something before I step down. I want to appreciate you for this platform. I want to appreciate you for this kind of live stream, because obviously it's not the kind of live stream that people do, especially all of us that do live stream, here. There is something the course said that I really want to also, I agree with. It takes a village to raise a child. It's not just the biological parent. And so don't, because you feel that it's not my biological child, you stop at correcting. I went to the store yesterday. I bought gum for my little daughter. She said it's for her only. I said no, that you have to share. The cashier that was checking us out, I said, yes, you have to share. Sharing is caring. My daughter was already frowning face that she wants her gum all by herself. Then the cashier now choked her mouth. So by the time she finished, I now told my daughter, you see, did you hear her? She said, yes. The cashier now said, I'm a grandma, so I'm mother to all of you here. So we started laughing. She doesn't know me. She's a Caucasian woman. But she had to correct my daughter that was frowning, that I did not say the gum was just for her. So it takes a village to raise a child. And when we understand that, we can be able to lend our voices in how to help. Why did we gather today? We are talking mostly because of Uju, her daughter, the way she went about it. Anybody that knows her might communicate this better to her, that she needs to do more, not waiting until it happen again to use pepper and put on the girls' the boys' We are not interested. We don't want to.
Honestly. You know this saying that in Igbo, I think is an Igbo name. Nwabunwora. A lot of Igbos bear Nwora. What is the meaning of Nwora? Meaning the child belongs to the community. A parent cannot raise a child alone. It takes the entire community, the entire village to raise one child. Back in the days, our parents can travel, leaving us in the care of neighbors or any family member. But today, parents can't even dare do that. We've lost that Nwora.
So if you stole a child now, the parent will come for you. Even back home. Yes, they'll say, you're jealous of my child. You're jealous of my child. That's why you are talking. Because go away. And they start calling you witch in front of the child. It's things like
I was saying this.
It's changed.
I was saying this in I think was it on Facebook? Somebody made a post, and I said back in those days when a child errs, a neighbor, another person, another woman, or another man can correct that child. If it means spanking the child, they will do that. And when the parents come back, they will say, "Thank you for what you did. I heard my child misbehaved, and you took care of him."
Not now.
But today, you touch it. World War III. So I don't know how we've lost that.
Mommy, the reason why I answer Osifo today, I'm an Igbo man, but I was born and bred in Benin. Osifo is a Benin name. Osifo was my landlord in Siloko Road, where I was born. When the man will see us playing, the man will open up and shout, "You are playing with Emmanuel." Emmanuel will go to exam and we will carry first. You will still playing with him. Will you all go inside? And later the man will now call me and say, "Emmanuel, stop deceiving these people. You are brilliant, they are not. Please try to teach them." That was how I started teaching people in my street then. So at a point I said, no, I have to answer the man's name, although it's late of blessed memory. I'm talking about Mr. Andrew Osifo. He is my godfather till I pass on. Because why? He taught me a lot of things. He gave me a lot of insight. And that was why I picked Osifo as a name. So, like we have been saying, a child is not for everybody. It's not for one person. It's for everybody. Yeah. If he did not correct me those days, I am very sure I would have made some silly mistakes. So, like Spy said, if a child does something then and the neighbor correct the child, it is you have done well, my sister. God bless you. But now the word that will start, it will be as if you have enemies with her before. So we should try and come around and say, oh, can salvage this. How do I? English has left me. We should try and come around and see if we can at least arrange this ordeal that makes it difficult for a child to grow in the midst of other persons. We are all family, even if you are not directly connected.
You're asking for something that is very difficult, because if you really ask me, Christianity is one of the things that brought this problem to us. Why do I say Christianity?
I agree.
A lot of them will tell you, if you go to Okandeya Foroge Vision and Foroge Awful, they will tell you, no, your brother-in-law is the reason why your children are not progressing. So enmity has gone so deep in our communities. And I don't know if at all we'll get back to what it used to be, but unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Okay, but the thing is,
not only Christianity, or even our traditional belief, the Babalawos used to say the same thing. Now your mama they winch you, now your papa they winch you.
Our Babalawos, no. If you really ask me, before the Babalawos started being dubious, they were good ones. Before they start being
thank you, Yo-Yo. Thank you, Yo-Yo.
They will tell you what is happening in the land. If this community is trying to fight, how you should go about it. Those were the little wars that we have fought according to our history. I don't know. The major thing is I remember those days. My sister's kids. The boy was about 3 years old. If you go to their house and ask this boy to pray, do you know the prayer? He'll be shaking his head, die by fire, die by fire. What is dying by fire? Spirits don't die. Let's be honest with these teachings. So
every enemy from my father's side, from my mother's side, die by fire.
Spirits don't die. Do you know, at some point I was already over 18, 19, 20. One day I now started asking my sister that is a pastor, I said, Nebiko, sister, wait, this burn the mountain of fire, die by fire, do you think is authentic? She said, sit down. Sit down, that spirits don't die. I was a full-grown adult when it got to me. Imagine how I have believed it, that you die by fire. Spirits don't die. And again, what did the Bible say? Christ said, if I slap you on this, if you slap me here, turn the other cheek. Why is that charity not among us? That we are now looking for this person is the reason why you're not progressing. This one is the reason why. That is what killed our communities. Then the Babalawo, of course, they had to emulate. If the church people are saying it, everybody swing. They were no longer.
They want to cash out too. They want to cash out like the pastors too.
So if you really look at it, I don't know. Sometimes I wish things would go back to when we had just few churches, and then everybody. You're laughing.
This church.
In my city, we have nothing less than 8 churches. A city that is not even up to how many people?
Yeah?
Churches
everywhere.
Here in
London, there's one street they call Old Kent Road. Old Kent Road. Before you go to a very long road, you have up to more than 30 churches, all belonging to Nigerians. What is that all about?
All of them are Nigerians. Yes, Nigerian churches. That's what they many.
They're all Nigerians.
Nigerians, I said they many. All of them want to be pastor. I'm called by God.
So please, I will be stepping down. So Mommy Faith will be rounding up. If you're there hearing our voices, if you're a mother to be, if you're a mother,
all your inputs,
please pay attention to your kids, boy or girl. Pay attention. Don't think that money that we are hustling today is more important than those blessings. I don't just call them children, I call them blessings. When I say prayers with my children, I say God in their hearing, they'll be hearing me that God made me a guardian on earth to direct your path. Yeah. But the owner of you is still God, and I need you to reverence that. So we should be able to know that this job I have, that is motherhood, is actually a job that has no income. It's a job that you cannot sleep, you cannot rest, you
don't retire from it.
There is no reward, financial reward, but you do it with joy. So let's take it seriously. When we talk about, even if you're gonna have a nanny, make sure you bait your children to know if there is anything going on in their private area.
Some basics, some basics.
Be there
some for basic things. Check.
It's very important. What we see, what we hear is not gonna stop. But don't let your own child and you yourself be in the statistics of those that we use for references tomorrow. Learn from other people's mistakes so that you'll be abreast with what is going on.
Yeah.
Would you, if you're gonna hear this message, you have a smartphone where you're confused, ask Google. Google will help you with answers. Even in your location, there will be a solution somewhere. Don't act ignorant anymore. That thing you did in your video is a complete no-no. Don't act ignorant. Our mothers those days, they did not go to school, but they had wisdom. And that was how they used to raise their children. They knew, no, I can't trust people, especially now that you don't know those people. You can't trust them. Don't entrust your children on strangers and think it's okay. It's not okay. If you have a small shade, take your children along with you. Your daughter is 5. By the grace of God, she'll be 6. By the time she becomes 7, she'll be handling a lot of things and helping you. The burden, I know, is different for each and every one of us. I know you're going through a lot. I was once in your children's care. And I tell you, if you inculcate any of some of the things we put in here, carry your children along with you to your store, to your shed, to your business area, so that you put an eye on who goes around them and what happens around them. With that, Mommy Fechi, I want to thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
1 o'clock, 1:17 p.m. Let me go and get on with the rest of the day.
I really appreciate your input and your presence here, Oyoyo. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And Mel, is there anything else you want to say at the final note before we round up?
Yeah, I'm just going to make it snappy. And it's what I'm going to say is directed at the lady that we're talking about today, if she would come across this video. If her job is a job that she cannot take her kids, then she needs to change it. Because if you ask me, your children are more important than any job, any amount of money that you're making now. Because if you're able to raise those children very well, they will be the one to take care of you in old age. They are your backbone. Okay, they are going to put smiles on your face. They will carry the name of their father that is no longer living. So focus on the children first. If your sister that is living with you cannot stay at home because she wants to work, then there's no need for her to even be there. Okay, so no need for you to be feeding extra mouth. It might sound as if, yes, family member, we need to carry them. No, you don't always have to carry family members on your head. If you cannot assist me so I can assist you, the right hand will wash left hand will wash the right hand. If you will not do that, then you have to go back to our parents' house or wherever you have to go to, I don't know. But change your job. Get a store. It doesn't matter how small. Look at what the abokis are selling from. And you know how much abokis are making? They have just a small kiosk. So it doesn't matter how small. Just know that thing that Nigerian people like, that they eat all the time or they use all the time. Sell those kind of things. And even the sky won't be your limit.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mama, for having me.
I appreciate your input and your support today. Thank you so much, Mel. Thank you. My spicy thoughts before we wrap.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mommy. Hey, AA is in the chat. I just checked the chat right now. Hello, AA. Hello, everyone.
You see when she was saying abracadabra to you?
Abracadabra. I missed that. I actually just checked the chat now and I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, honestly, this is a very, very important discussion, very meaningful discussion, because a lot of parents, young parents, are getting it wrong. And we will not feel the impact today until 10, 20 years later. So whatever we can do today is a seed we are sowing. It's a seed that we will reap the fruit tomorrow. If we don't sow the right seed today, we shouldn't expect a beautiful, sweet fruit tomorrow. So parenting is not easy. It's a deliberate action. For you to be a parent, you must be deliberate. You must be intentional about it. You must be ready to make certain sacrifices. As a mother, as a young mother, as a young widow, know that right now your children should be priority. Yeah. Whatever you can do now that you can carry them along, please do that. Do not leave them to outsiders. The society is a mess. Do not leave them to neighbors to raise, or anybody to raise. That the society is messed up. So carry them along and don't rely on outsiders. And then I want to say, before I drop, everything shouldn't be discussed on social media because we want to get views. For that, I don't commend her on that. She could have consulted one or two mature people and then talk to them about it if she feel like opening up to someone. But coming on social media to share things like this is not right. It's not nice. And I hope she deletes it, because they said the internet has a long memory. This girl is going to grow up tomorrow and see. She'll go through her mother's YouTube channel. She will come across this. Somebody will share it with her, and it's going to hurt her seriously. And as for her sister that is with her, if her sister wants to come and work without taking care, helping her care for her young ones now, I think it's better she goes back to her parents. She's not helping in any way. She's struggling to feed her children. She should focus more on the children. All she needs now is assistance, help for the time being, until these children are grown to be able to, to know their left from their right. So I want to say, parenting, please, it's not easy. I know, mothers, you're trying, but we can do better. And may God bless every mother, every father, putting in all their effort to raise amazing children in the society, sane children in the society. God bless you. Thank you so much, Mommy, for having me. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Cosrep, greetings to you, and have a blessed day.
I appreciate that input so much. Thank you, my spicy. And Cosrep, son, your last thought before we round up. No?
Yes. Like I said before, it's good we know our left from our right. If you are not prepared to start a family, please do not bother. People like us who don't have kids, nobody say we don't know what we will go do to get kids, but we want to be there. Please, I beg you, for those of us who are not yet, who are trying to look up to those who will teach us, please don't teach us the wrong thing. Teach us the right thing so that we can do the right things. Okay, so that's what I have to say. And for those of us, mama, people like you who are already grandmothers, who are still taking care of their kids. Imagine, mommy is a grandmother. In case you don't know, she's a grandmother. You could see her taking care of her kids. That will show you two things. That yes, even as a mother, she's still there. That will also show you, even as a grandmother, she's still there. Mommy has seen is it not second generation they call it? That's how life is. So don't think because she's doing it for a reason. And people might see it as a normal, it's just a normal. It's not normal. It's just for us to know. If somebody like this have stayed up to about 39, 40 years in marriage and doing very well, tell me, why is she doing very well and you are not doing very well? Something is missing somewhere. So it's good we start thinking and making our family progress so that tomorrow we can say, yes, we learned well. I don't know the lady that I'm talking about, but I believe it's a good thing you are here. You might not be here, but please, I pray you see this video. We don't have you, we don't hate you. We are only being open to you as a family. Yes. Those persons who have spoken here are one of those persons who I can say I vouch for. Nobody is coming to talk to you because they want to look down on you. No, it's because they feel that yes, it's been open. To you just is the best thing they can do and give to you. Okay, so please, let's take the correction, let's take the advice, and thank you everyone for supporting our mama. We really do appreciate you. And Mama, I have to take a bow.
Yes, thank you so much for your input. I really appreciate. Thank you. Wow, thank you, my lovely people. All the co-hosts that came up, you all, they're all wonderful. Oyoyo's World, Oyoyo's Fresh, Oyoyo Ndoki Kitchen. If you're not connected with her, please do so. My Spicy, she hasn't been active, but I'm sure her YouTube channel is Spice It Up with Onwa Dear. And I'm sure she will be back soon, being active again. And Mel, as I say, Entertainment Daily TV, Mel Fierce Fitness, Trending Gist with Octavia Cora. I think there's about 5. Let us know the rest, Mel. Mel is the one that is easier for me. But Mel, you have not been uploading anything on your fitness channel. I went there the other day. I didn't see anything new because I like to join you in your fitness to see what I'm going to look like you. But you have not uploaded anything in your fitness channel. Please, I'm waiting for that. So Oni, you came very late. Yes, what we are talking, say YouTuber. I know the name has been mentioned. Some mentioned her name, Uju. We'll leave it at Uju. I'm not saying her YouTube name, but people who have already watched the video know what we're talking about. So in a nutshell, yes, somebody already told you. I think Entertainment already told you what it's all about. Her daughter was molested. It's not just being molested. It's just the way she handled it. She came and did a video, and I was listening to that video to actually understand what went on, and the fact that she explained, her 5-year-old explained that this person lay on top of her tummy, asked her to take her clothes off and lay on top of her tummy, was enough for me. That mother should have taken proper action, but she didn't. That's what brought up this. So we just decided to use this as a case study for all young mothers. Don't be too busy for your children. Do what you can. Make sure that you know who your children are go out with. This young lady is a widow. It's a young widow. Her husband passed away. They lived in Senegal before they now moved to Nigeria because they can't live there anymore. So that's in a nutshell, the story we have talked about. And we also talked about a 12 and 10-year-old siblings, a boy and a girl, who their parents left them to be sharing room, and they have TV in the room. They watch blue movies and everything, and they started practicing things among themselves. So we are saying, is it right for siblings of opposite sex to share a room? And the answer is no. No matter that age, they should not be, maybe as babies when they are maybe 1, 2, 3. But once they start like 5 and above and things like that, they should not be sharing rooms. So on that note, if you know how many children you can afford and you know how many rooms you can pay for, put that into consideration before you start having your children, so that children will not start some of these things, and be very attentive. Look out into what your children are doing. Make sure if they're the same sex, like I raised up 4 sons, they were all boys, so the 2 of them were always in a room. I always had the first 2 together, the last 2 together, until they grew to a certain age. So that's easier than when you have a boy and a girl. And my children, when they were growing up, they never had television in their rooms. Maybe it was then, I raised them up in the 80s, 90s, early 20s. So, but that time there was no television in their rooms, and they did not complain because they were used to that. But now, children as young as 5, 3, you see them with tablets, you see them carrying phones that adults don't even have. So let us be measured, let us be very careful, so that we don't regret at the end, because the children these days, they know a lot. Compared to when I raised mine, my children thinking back then, they were so naive than what is going on at the moment, and it's going to get worse. With you will have young children now. The society, things are opening up a lot. Like my own grandchildren coming, they're going to be even worse than my own children and what is going on now. So we have to be on our toes, be prayerful. But this idea of taking children, before I round up, this idea of taking children to every church on earth and asking pastors to lay hands on them, I don't know, some of the children are behaving badly after hands are being laid on them. Pray for your children as parents. I don't say you don't go to church, but mind the church you go to. Mind who lays hand on your children, because it's causing some problems among children, and I know what I'm talking about. I have instances. So please mind who lay, and if they can pray from afar, do they have to lay hands? This idea of laying hands on children, or even laying hands on you adults, when you go to these churches that you people run to, One person will go to one church today, they say that it's happening there, they'll go to the next one today. Everybody, each time they go, they lay hands on them. Why must they lay hands on people? Can you not ask yourself a question? Why are these pastors always want to lay hands on or touch people? Don't touch me. Pray from afar. If you have to pray for me at all, I have my own mouth, I'll pray. Go to church if you have to go to church, but please be measured, be careful. A lot of things are happening with all these so-called churches. A lot of things are happening because parents are so busy for their children. Parents will leave their children and go to work. I'm not talking of a widow now. She's a widow. I'm not talking about her now. I'm talking about a husband and wife who are at home. They'll leave their young children, younger than 10 years old, in the house overnight and go on night duty. It's happening a lot amongst our people because they need money. What kind of money is that one? The money that will kill me, let me not have it. The money that will destroy me, let me not have it. Because at the end of the day, these children, it's either they go the other way and end up inside and you'll be going there to visit them in your older age, or they will turn to all sorts. And you're going to have, if you're still alive yourself, because some of these things, heartbreaking, will delete the parents, and you will not be there no more, and everything will just be a mess. And if you are alive, they will be inside because of what they've committed, because you did not look into what they are doing, and they are inside there, and you'll be going there to visit them. We don't want that for any of us. So please, if you don't have money, is not everything. I rather that I'm just normal, just to have enough to get by, than boasting. I have this, I have mansion. What mansion? Mansion that people will be carried into for 5 minutes before they are buried because they have not rested. Please, a word is enough for the wise. Let this thing that Uju came out to say on her channel not be heard again. There was no need for that video. She did not tell us the action she took. She did not tell us what happened. Even that the person that did it was there and said yes to what he did. And then you did not take any action. That's not good enough. So parents, especially those of you in Nigeria, speak out, and make sure that you are very attentive. Be there, be all screwed on, be very sharp, and watch what is going on and report it. Take action, please. We're going to stop here. We have now spent 2.5 hours, and I thank everyone that has been here with me from the beginning, and those like Oni that came late. I thank you all as well. Oni, it's okay. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Gores, thank you for your input as well. Yes, I was talking about people that came up. I forgot that Gores did. Gores as well. Please, if you're not connected with her, please do so. My spicy lady came up. And Cost Rep Connor, the gentleman that came up, the only man that came up today, Cost Rep Connor, you all know him. I'm sure you connected with him. Oyoyo in Doki's Kitchen or Oyoyo's World. Thank you, everyone that actually came up today to talk. It has been very interactive, and I love all your inputs. Let us just continue. We'll continue talking about these things, and so that's all I'm going to say. So I'll start by saying thank you so much. Blessed at the countryside. Thank you. Linda has been here for a long time, and I'm sure it's very late where you are, Linda. I appreciate this. I'm sure it's either midnight or so where you are in India. Thank you so much. I saw your comment earlier on that you have to give up your job to look after your children. Good. These children grow so quick. If you have to give up your job, give up your job. If they're asking for Nike trainers, tell them that you don't have the money for Nike, buy the basic one for them. They will appreciate that better than you buying them Nike, because you are always working to make that money to buy them those things to go. They'd rather that you buy them not little or nothing and be there for them. 12 a.m. I said it here. That's very, very good that you have been here with us and you'll be here for a long time. So Linda, I appreciate that so much. Oni, thank you. Gores, thank you so much, and thank you for your input earlier on. My Spicy, thank you. Estelle family, thank you so much. I saw your comments and your input down there. Thank you also for coming. Entertainment, Daily OK, Mel Spice, and Mel Fierce Fitness, thank you so much for coming and for your input as well. And there's quite a lot of AA is not a YouTuber, but she's always here with me. AA, we are still going to have our Sunday. This one is an emergency live stream. My live stream on Sunday, 3 p.m. UK time, will still hold. It's going to hold on Ifechi Health and Wellness. We are going to do a Sunday praise worship, and there's important health discussion I want us to talk about on Sunday. So despite having this live stream today, we are still going to have our normal live stream on Sunday, 3 p.m. UK time at Ifechi Health and Wellness. So I expect to see as many of you as possible. If you can make it on Sunday, we'll try and make it sweet. I always say to my husband, oh, it's going to be 1 hour. He say, yeah, I'll see you in 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, it's always there on Sunday. So you don't think that because we've done it today, the Sunday one is not. No, Sunday one is still going to be there, but on the other channel. So we'll have a health update to give on Sunday after our praise worship. Thank you so much. Who else? A lot of people came and gone, which is what it happens with LS. So I appreciate everyone. Blessing, Anyang, thank you. Sidonie Johnson and family. It's a very new name to me. Sidonie Johnson, please connect with me properly. I would like to know you better. Thank you so much for being here and for your input. I appreciate that so much. And Silver Rose was here as well. Thank you so much. And Silver Rose, Versatile Nurse Frances was here as well, or still here in the background, I don't know. Thank you so much. My sister Nen popped in. I'm sure she's still at work. Thank you, sis. And yeah, who else? Mstel Beauty, thank you so much for coming. I'm just going up the list to see people that came and gone. I remember Evelyn Omoroge was here as well. Wow, we had a lot of people today. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And those of you who are able to make it on Sunday on Ifechi Health and Wellness, I would love to see you so we can praise God for the Sunday and then have a health update, because we have to look after our health. We have to look after our health, both physically and mentally. Very, very important. A lot of mental issues are going on, and we have to discuss some of them. Thank you so much. Once again, everyone, I'm going to sign off now. Those who came late, if you are able to replay a little bit, but not now, after I've put the ads on. Yeah, if you're able to replay as much as you can, I'm being mindful of people in Nigeria that they can't replay as such because of data challenges. But even those who are already here, if you're able to replay later on, when I put the ads to support this ministry, I will appreciate that so much. So once again, thank you, everyone. I'm going to sign off now. Bye, everyone. Bye, Linda. Midnight already, and you're still here. What do you call that? Love. And I appreciate all the love and support from each and every one of you, my lovely family. And please, you young mothers, we cannot say anymore, because I know that you young mothers who are here with me, you know what you're doing with your children. Oyoyo's Fresh, thank you so much for your huge input today. Bye, everyone, and I'm signing off now. Love you all.